This episode of the Triangle Offense podcast is hosted and sponsored by Unheralded Media. Unheralded Media is a digital media collective formed all by the love of basketball. So if you make videos, podcasts, articles, or you're a photographer or a videographer, and you love and specialize in making content surrounding the game of basketball, come to Unheralded and we'll host and sponsor your content. Whether it's NBA, WNBA, NCAA, or even the high school level, we'll take in your content and you can join us and form a special community. So if you do want to join, DM us at Unheralded on Instagram, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms you can find on our website, www.unheralded.xyz/web. Thank you for listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Triangle Offense podcast. Only podcast where one of us might drop 70 points. You feel me? That's just how the league is nowadays.
It's definitely
How
going to
y'all,
be games because
how y'all doing?
play
How y'all
basketball.
doing?
I'm
Good. How y'all?
chilling.
Hey, man. We gotta talk. We gotta talk about teams real quick. First we gotta obviously talk about the scoring that's been going on. Of course, when we left off, it was right before Joel Embiid had his 70-point night. Cat was supposed to have a 70-point night, but over there in Minnesota, they don't reward a certain type of play. So, and I respect that personally, but I also would have liked to see him do it just because he was hot. And then, what was it, 2 days ago? We had Luka go for 73, the most since Kobe Bryant, of course, on the anniversary of his passing. He did that one for the Mamba. And then Book had 30 in the first. I thought he was really going to be the one to do it.
I thought he was
Because
gonna
you
go for
all
the
know
81.
how Book stand Kobe. Like I thought that was like the script was going crazy.
Yeah, I
But
ain't
he
gonna lie.
sold
He was wild.
so
The Suns, so in general,
bro, the Suns are just a terrible fourth quarter team. That's like one of the worst fourth quarter teams I've seen in my life, which is
like
crazy.
even with Book doing what he was doing, I just knew they were going to lose because it's like if you can't stop the Pacers from scoring, you're probably going to lose the game. Like it's just that simple. Like that
It's like
game,
most teams can't stop the Pacers from scoring though.
yeah, nah, facts, but like they're them defensively, like they struggle in general. So like I just knew it wasn't looking good.
And then just going through the league since the last episode, the Bucks hired Doc Rivers,
Oh my God.
who makes his coaching debut today. And when he broke his silence on his hiring, the first thing he said is, "I wouldn't wish this on anybody."
Imagine Jokic just go in there and do some crazy junk for his first game coaching. Oh my God, that would be great. Yo, that's some Jokic junk too.
And it's like the whole thing with the Bucks firing, it was like I understand. It's a it was a new front for it was a new head coach and they didn't really agree with him or rather he lost the locker room over time. Obviously his biggest issue was like he's not a defensive coach. I know that personally because like he was responsible for the Raptors offense when they was contenders. Um, and but like honestly, I think we all know Giannis made the call.
Yeah.
It was kind of clear that like Giannis wanted him to get hired. He wanted him over Nick Nurse in the offseason, and then they eventually just like got on different pages. So they decided to go with somebody who is a vet in the NBA. So now they gotta whatever happens in the God bless them in the postseason, but it's like it was written like Doc Rivers, he's not a postseason coach. So when the Bucks lose to the Knicks after they blow a 3-1 lead, it's like you heard it here first. I just want that to be known. And then of course shortly after, it was a little trade. Miami Heat got Terry Rozier from the Hornets in exchange for Kyle Lowry, who will
Yeah.
not be suiting up for the Hornets, of course. Um, I feel like I feel like that was a very lateral move for the Heat. What do y'all think about that?
I don't think it makes them better or worse.
I'm gonna be real. I actually like it for two reasons. One, like it helps them for the regular season when Jimmy is having his, how Jimmy is during the regular season. He don't really turn up like that.
I agree with that.
And two, in the playoffs, like when Jimmy, like, because we know how Jimmy gets in the playoffs. Like for them to have someone else to rely on other than Tyler Hero to go get him a bucket, like I like that for the structure of the team because of how the defense is going to play them. Like
They
last
definitely
year,
they
last
definitely
year with Caleb Martin, like let's be real, that's not happening again. Like it was just that's not happening. But with my son Scary Terry, it's like that could be a consistent basis for them. So
why'd you
I
have to
like
say
the
you?
I don't know, bro. I feel like somebody like Jamal Cain off the bench, Cole Swindler could kind of like he's just gonna see that he's gonna be in Boston. He's just gonna go crazy.
Um this Terry Rozier trade, like I don't think it makes them like I said, better or worse. Like I feel like they kind of stay the same in a sense. I just think like they obviously have more offensive firepower, but the Heat's offensive firepower, like in terms of their like go-to guys with the ball in their hands, have been inconsistent all season long. Terry Rozier on the Hornets alone has been inconsistent all season long. He's had a couple of big games, but then he dropped off for he'll drop off for a couple of games after that. So more importantly, I just don't think that's what they needed. I feel like I feel like they need like more wings, more defensive wings, like uh Jimmy and Haywood and Caleb Martin. I feel like they should like kind of rack up on that because even though they didn't get maximum like potential out of Victor Oladipo when he was there, he still made a lot of winning plays for them, being like um a defensive pest on the wing. So I just think I just think them having more wings and more interchangeability on the defensive end helps that Heat team a lot. Because now to me, I walk in the Heat arena and I just see food.
Started backcourt, Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero. Oh my God.
That, that's what I'm saying. Like I just see food. Like teams already target Tyler Hero when they play them, and now they're about to just target Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero on the court at the same time. I don't think that helps. Like when
It's
you're
like no, go
go
ahead. It's like it was time to like move Lowry because the contract was too big and he just like he doesn't have nothing left in the tank offensively. But like he still had like veteran defensive like contributions.
exactly.
Y'all like they as a team they already was kind of top heavy when it came to that. Like they best players like okay you got Bam he all defense. You got Jimmy he could be all defense and like Lowry had the best at the top of his career he was all defense and like he still has more than most. So now you give up that to get more offense. And granted, like the Heat offense was has been pretty bad this season. And it's like, okay, you get another 20 point per game capable scorer to try to balance out the offense and the defense, but like it doesn't make up for the fact that like at the end of the day, y'all make that move. Okay, let's say now you got league average offense instead of like bottom 10 offense. Your defense is still league average right now. So now y'all are just super mid and the backcourt is gonna get picked apart even more than it already was. And then when you got the minutes where Bam got a rest and Jimmy got a rest, then the defense is really bad. Like who you said you
Exactly.
said that Kevin Love out there? Kevin
Yeah.
Love
I
can't run
don't
no more.
when you when they break down the rotations, like because with the new addition they got to break down the rotations all over again anyway. I don't think they're gonna have a lineup with Jimmy and Bam sitting at the same time. Like I think,
What about
especially when
what
what you about
about
to say?
what about those games where Bam isn't playing or Jimmy isn't playing, like that's just worse because
That's
they
when it just get
oh
nasty.
yeah,
Not
like
yet, but at that point, it's just like
That's for any team. Like your two best players
not
not
work.
playing is ugly.
Yeah. So
And speaking of more wings to round out the throughout the league, the city of Detroit sacrificed Lions salvation to beat the Thunder in a random game in January.
oh man, you better watch Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl, bro.
And and it's just, like with the NBA, anything can happen on any night. I feel like that shouldn't be taken into any type of deep thought about the Pistons getting that win. Even the Warriors, they had a couple losses that season. They won 73. But I will say, the Pistons won 3 games in January. That's a season high.
not work.
They can still finish 500. They
They
could.
not
There's
finishing.
still enough games.
They not finishing 500. I don't care.
Nah.
I don't care if it's statistically possible. It's just impossible. Like they're not doing that.
And then of course we're gonna get the reserves this week, but we got the All-Star starters. Not too many surprises, but of course, as we've already touched upon, we don't agree with
Jalen
Dame
Brunson
Dollar getting that start
and Jalen
over
Brunson not
over a
being
couple of guards in the East.
yes. I think 100%.
You got
With
Brunson over Maxi?
I got Brunson over
I
Maxi.
got Brunson over Maxi. Maxi started off hot, but then he kind of cooled off. Like he cooled off a lot since then.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh Another guy I could have thought that probably could be over Dame was Donovan Mitchell. I'm surprised he didn't even get the nod because then it's like I still would have I still would have thought Jalen Brunson should have been over him in terms of a starter, but then it's like it's not as bad as Dame getting the starting spot. I just don't see where Dame is an all-star starter this year. He's an all-star, he can have that, but a starter, I'm not too like uh fond of that.
I mean, at the end of the day, they are going to be all stars. I don't
I
think
Right.
it's
mean,
going to be like a
realistically speaking,
crazy
like
snub.
if we being real, like, cause I was thinking about it on the same side as the West, like why Curry wasn't. Like Luca and Shea's having like astronomical seasons right now. Like I
Yeah,
feel like if they weren't having like these great of like seasons, he would still be a starter, with even with
100%.
how he's been playing. So I feel
100%.
like that's
it has to be
probably,
a big gap for them to take new people over. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's
yeah,
like with Jalen Brunson, like we all feel like he should have been a starter. But when it come down to it, you look at the numbers and then you gotta who
like he would
like
have
who
had
you,
to average like 30 and 10 for
Yeah,
people to be
yeah,
like, all right, like
yeah,
he better than Dame.
yeah.
yeah. So I see why he's a starter, but yeah,
That's my
Jalen Brunson definitely should have been
that's
in that starting spot.
that's my thing too. Isn't Donovan Mitchell averaging like 29?
Yeah. But it's also like, with the NBA and like voting, it has to be like big moments. Like
And
remember
then
the Christmas game? I said I was like he just booked his bid to All Star. Like
yeah,
Donovan Mitchell, like the Cavs, they've been up and down. They still been in there because of injury. But like
Yeah,
because they haven't been healthy and they haven't really been winning big games, people not really paying attention to the Cavs as much as they
right.
should be.
And Trey Young is averaging like 28 and 11 or
But
28.
Trey Young gonna do that all the
it's Trey
time. But the
Young,
Hawks is the
not worth.
definition of mid, so like
I,
they not giving him the record tax. They give him the record tax. Feel me?
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel
Like
you.
they gave him that like 4 or 5 years ago, but like after a while, it's like okay, it's like let's like we got teams that are winning. Feel me?
Yeah,
And
right.
plus it's the Knicks. Like the Knicks been waiting to have a guard like they could hype up and like put in the mix with everybody else.
Facts. Facts.
And then speaking of teams that are winning, today we're going to talk about contenders and pretenders. We got some good teams to
Yeah.
talk about. We do. So we're going to talk about who we think is contending and who we think is pretending. And we're going to talk about why, of course, starting with the West. So I got, I got, I went
I
in
feel like we
like
should.
I got a few.
How we doing this? Are we gonna just run down each team and just say
I
I
feel
mean, that
who
would
they?
like
be
I mean like
good.
it's not a big pool of
Yeah,
contenders. So like we all go have the same few teams, but I say like talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we could all talk about like each team individually. And then
Okay.
like pretenders is a different story because like I got a little something to say about like 5, 6 teams as to why
Okay.
they not contenders. But I
man.
mean, first off, we gotta talk about the reigning champs, of course, the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, they're contenders. They haven't really dropped off. They're still winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Still have argued pretty much the best player in the league. Um, but just to play devil's advocate, my little 2 cents about it is they aren't as strong as they were last year. A
Especially
lot of,
defensively.
especially defensively, a lot of their statistically is kind of lined up the same, but they don't have the same edge. I feel like when it comes to the playoffs,
I feel
they
like
had a few.
that
Yeah, go
loss of
ahead.
Bruce Brown was really like that's gonna hurt
Heavy,
them in the playoffs. Like when the
heavy.
playoffs come back, that's gonna hurt them bad.
Yeah, I agree.
When it's the playoffs, it's about the X factor players, and Bruce Brown, an X factor player.
It was a
Hundred
super
percent.
player for them, but
100%.
I like y'all know this. I like Christian Braun a lot. I think he could be that. I think even though he's a little young,
That's the
um,
only yeah. I was
I
about to say that's the go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Even though he's a little young, and it might be like hard for him to adjust to getting to that role, in the playoffs. But he in the finals last year, he made a lot of winning plays with Bruce Brown on the court with him. So
Hmm.
I think he could definitely adapt and get to that Bruce Brown level player for the Nuggets in no time. I'm a big fan
I
of Chris Brown. So
I am too. I feel like the only thing with him is like it's like let's be real that Miami series like that wasn't really a sweater for the
right,
Nuggets.
right.
So it's like with Bruce Brown, he was a proven X factor like in serious like series like that Lakers series. Um, even when the Timberwolves pushed their run to try to come back, like Bruce Brown has been a proven X factor in a plethora of series. So it's just like, can he prove that in I'm not gonna say serious like matchups because of course the NBA Finals is a serious matchup, but it's like the
We know
Nuggets were the Nuggets were clearly better than the Heat.
the Heat really shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that. I like that feeling. Like if they're gonna lose Bruce Brown, at least they have someone that they think could take that spot. So yeah, that's not bad.
We know they done a good job drafting, keeping the bench fresh to have viable options because it gets expensive keeping a starting five like that together. But I will say they also had it pretty easy going into just their entire playoff run as a whole. I feel like it's going to get a lot more scarier for them playing
Yeah,
these teams in the playoffs. It's not going. It's
uh,
probably going to be twice as hard, honestly, the way a lot of these contenders are taking shape. So
I'm gonna
I
be
feel like while they still are contenders, I feel like they might they might really catch some heat this season, and it's gonna have people kind of questioning how strong they were last year.
I agree. I 100% agree. You got teams coming out of nowhere now doing big things. It's kind of like the Clippers compared to the Warriors early in 2015. Um the Clippers that year it was supposed to be the year everybody thought the Clippers were going to be that team out of the West going to the finals, and then here comes that boy with 30 on his back and just completely took the league over. So that's what y'all know. I've been saying this. That's what I see with SGA in OKC right now. Um, I
I'm
y'all already know how I feel about OK.
the only thing with that comparison is Curry did his time though. Like that 2012 to 2015 up until that point, like he had some good series that he lost before he got to that point where he
Fair,
took over. Like
100%.
SGA,
I agree.
I feel like SGA is he has to go through his time. Like if I had to pick anybody out the West right now that I think I'd probably say the Timberwolves. Like and
He
he
got to
had
go
two.
through his time too. He only had
Yeah,
two
but
series,
he had two playoff series, but it's like one
and
of
he
them.
and he only played good in one of them for real.
Night. Which one?
The Memphis series.
You didn't like him last year?
I didn't. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Okay. I just feel like if I had to pick between the two, like I feel like with Ant, like he could pull it out before
Minne-
SGA.
Minnesota is definitely the more playoff ready team in terms of
Yeah.
experience, but I think on OKC side, like they have more dogs. They have they
They just
have
have a
more.
better team, bro.
Yeah, like
It's like you run down the top 8 players on each team. It's like I feel like that's a better team, not just
yeah.
a better
I don't know
players.
because like when especially defensively when the Timberwolves lock in,
Oh, no doubt. They the
Nah,
best
they
defense
are
by like a
100%,
wide margin.
like
100%.
and as far like when it comes down to like being in the playoffs, like let's be real. Like let's be real. We all know. I'm not gonna say SGA is that he's an isolation player. Like he's by any means he's not an isolation player. But a lot of his buckets, like during the season, he'll come down 5, 6 straight possessions in a row and go get a bucket. And I just feel like with how keen in that players are in the playoffs and how slow the game is, I don't know if that's gonna be the system for them to win. Like with the Timberwolves, you can see like multiple guys getting touches, the ball moving. Like that's more so playoff basketball. Like I just want to see if their system of offense is going to translate to the playoffs. That's the only thing with the Thunder that I'm really concerned about. I feel like I'm more concerned over that than experience because with them being so young and them not having that much experience, they still have the talent, like Mike said, to to push through that. So that's my take on that situation.
Going into the Thunder, because that's also somebody that I have as contenders. They actually my dark horse. I really I don't ignore the fact that they're young. I feel like that's probably their biggest like make or break factor when it's time to perform. But I believe in them thoroughly just solely for the fact that this is probably the youngest, most natural team that I've seen in a minute be able to perform at such a high level and go out and win big games and like at the end of the day like regular season
Hold up,
matchups
hold up,
don't
hold up,
matter.
hold up, hold up,
You
hold
about to
up,
talk
hold
about
up,
the
hold up, hold up, hold up.
He's
We're not about to do this, Arrow.
about to make
Oh
this
my
Arrow,
God.
let's
He
pay our
about to make
homage.
this about the Grizzlies.
Let's pay our homage. Let's pay our
Bro,
homage.
bro, the Grizzlies they was doing good, but I'm talking about statistically. I'm not talking about like just going out.
And even so, like there's not one guy on that team on the OKC team that's over like 28. Like y'all still got Steven Adams. Y'all still have Steven Adams.
Bro, that was our oldest player on the team at that
And
point.
he's pretty battle tested. He's been through a lot.
Hey
A
man,
lot.
all I'm saying
Yeah,
is
well, like
I don't like how that we didn't talk about this either. Because
Nah, he been hot all week.
we're not about to talk
I
about the
The
sent y'all
post
this
game
Thunder
interviews,
snatched the
bro.
Grizzlies
We're not
I
about to
championship.
sent y'all
talk
this in
about
the
the
group
post
chat.
game interviews, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna let that rock. But I'm just saying, you feel me? We know who did it first.
He's sitting in the
You feel me?
dark corner talking about we'll be back, ski. Like
Nah, we
you
will.
good, bro. You
It's
good.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
Then
y'all going
nobody forgot about y'all, bro.
bro. Vince Williams is a bucket, and he played D. I love Vince Williams. Shout out to Vince Williams, man.
Shout out Vince Williams, man.
And then my last contender that I got, and I'll be honest right now. This my pick to come out the West. I got the Clippers, bro.
Thank
I
you.
got the Clip.
I like that pick.
They came a long way
No,
from
no,
when
no, no,
that
no.
when
Wait,
that
wait.
trade
That's your.
happened.
You think the Timberwolves is pretenders?
I do. We'll get into that. I think they
I
pretenders.
do too. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
think they pretenders, but not in no disrespectful way. I just
Yeah,
think
Okay.
it's not time yet.
It's not their time yet.
It's
Okay.
not their time to be like
Okay.
contenders. That's why
I
I
But
got
think
the
nah,
Thunder as my
I
dark
like that.
horse because
I like
they
that
could
Clippers
jump
pick.
and win a series. But I
I
don't
like
think
that.
they're gonna win a championship. Like I only think it's 2 teams in the West that could like pop off and win a championship.
I have
I think the Clippers is one of those teams. I'm
yeah.
gonna be real.
Exactly. Go ahead, Mike.
Like especially like going if you really look at it, like when it comes down to it, you gotta have enough like you can play as hard as you want to. You gotta have enough firepower to go like toe to toe with teams like Denver, teams like Boston. Like they got too much heat and firepower with them. So it's like with that Clippers pick, I like that a lot. I was thinking them too because at any given playoff night, like they have what 3 guys that can go like win you a game and really when healthy, 2 of them is consistent. So it's like I like that pick a lot.
And like my one thing I'll say to like people who easily dismiss people believing and buying Clipper stock, it's like we've seen all of these players team up before and try to like go really top heavy before. And a lot of people don't think super teams in a sense work out anymore. And like they still don't. And like we're gonna talk about when we talk about the Suns, but like this isn't just like a regular super team. This is 4 names of like these are 4 big players that are
That's
together,
their points.
but it is not all the same roles that people want. Russell Westbrook's a role player right now. James Harden damn near
Word.
a role player right now. I haven't seen the chemistry. I haven't seen these people be on teams with this much chemistry and ability to mesh and play effectively. And like I give most of that credit to Russell Westbrook because he was the one who really
He bought him
started
first.
started buying in and like doing what was necessary to improve the team. Because when it came
My
in, it was like they
hold
could
up.
not. Harden and Westbrook could not finish games together. It's like they had to
I
figure
can't
it out
I can't get slandered. I meant 4 players. My fault. I said 3. You feel me? Westbrook is in that conversation where he can go
for
win him a
sure.
game. So yeah,
He and
I
he's
had to
had
clear that
he's
up.
had he's had his nights where it fell on him to go
Now
win the
word,
game,
and he did.
and he
So it's
did.
I
My
like
So it's
I
like
like that team.
my
so it's
biggest
like if you a casual, it's one thing, but if you're paying
They
attention
got
to the
everything
type
you
of
need.
basketball they play, they have everything
I,
that's needed.
Now word.
my biggest concern about the Clippers is like just like anybody else is just them being healthy. Like 3 out of those 4 guys are like injury prone, especially for the last 4 or 5 years of their career. So it's just if they can stay healthy, the sky's obviously the limit. But God forbid anything happens to even just one of them. I just feel like even one important piece uh gets injured and has to miss some time, that could mess up everything they got going on right now. So like just God forbid they just stay healthy and then we see them in the playoffs. I'm also worried about consistency of 2 players specifically in the playoffs.
Ooh,
The
Harden,
Paul George and James Harden.
yeah,
I
Paul.
feel like we can't do that with Paul George at this point because
Bro, it's
after
like
that af-
the
after that
bubble.
bubble series, did he not? No. Because after that bubble series, he hasn't had a bad playoff series yet.
He had 2021.
He didn't have a
2019 he
bad
was
play.
injured. 2019 he had the bad shoulders.
Yeah,
So it's
2020,
like,
we
but it's
we never.
but at the end of the day, it's like if you play, if you're on the floor playing, then it's like it falls on you. Because there's
Okay,
also been players who were injured who could have went out, but they knew like it wouldn't have been a good look.
now
So
we're
if Paul George still got that he still got that sticker on his back that he's one of those players that's not a playoff performer. And like he still got some work to do to brush it off. But like I'm not saying he's one of them. I believe in Paul George if he's healthy, but it's still people out there that's gonna believe
he,
that. So
Hey,
it's at
wait.
the end of the day, he
Even
gotta
in
prove that wrong.
2019, when they lost to the Trailblazers, he still had a good series with that bad shoulder too. Like
his numbers look good, but he wasn't necessarily.
He wasn't 100%, so like he
Remember,
wasn't
that's
as
yeah,
when
effective. And that was
yeah, but
that
he's
was when it was like he was the nucleus of that team.
yeah,
Like
because that's
Westbrook was running the engine,
and then
but Paul George was the gas, like, and they was
that
out
yeah,
of
was the
gas.
MVP, that was the MVP year for him, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
he didn't necessarily like Russ kept that same energy,
hmm
but then like he didn't necessarily like reciprocate everything he did in the regular season. And he was injured. He was injured. He wasn't healthy. You know, we see what Paul George does in playoffs when he's healthy. From dating back to him playing on the Pacers
In
against.
the end, yeah,
So, like, we know what he could do. It's just he hasn't been healthy to get there.
It just got to line up.
Yeah,
It just
that's
got to line up.
and
And it's
that
like,
Paul George is one of those players who's just super unlucky in my eyes. Like
super.
it's because he got that 13 on.
So
And like Kawhi is just like
Kawhi.
you don't even got to question Kawhi. It's just like,
Yeah,
are you healthy? You healthy? We good. That's
yeah,
like that's really what
exactly,
it is.
exactly.
No, what about them pretenders, man? I already know my biggest pretender. I be
My big,
calling them out all.
I feel like we got the same biggest pretender, bro.
It's the Suns, bro. I've been saying that before the season
Yeah,
started.
yeah, easily the Suns. After the Suns, I got the Timberwolves.
I don't think they. I feel like going from like most disrespectful to least disrespectful.
I still think like it would be disrespectful to say that Minnesota's pretenders.
I
And
mean,
I feel
it's just
like
young. I don't have no like. I don't
it's
have no
not
like.
to me. It's not them being young. I feel although they're a great defensive team, I feel like it's very easy to break that, and it's
They
because
don't
of
have great. They don't have good offense neither. They have like very mid offense.
it's also because their anchor on defense is very like plausible in my eyes. All you
It's not
gotta
even.
all you
Go
have
ahead.
to all you have to do is run small ball. You get five wings out there, or uh just if depending on the team, you just get five guys out there that are at least around the 6'5" range to 6'9" range, right? They're good. You run that lineup. Rudy Gobert's not coming out there in that perimeter. We saw it happen against the Clippers when he was on the Jazz and Terrence Mann blew his head off. Like, I feel like all you got to do to make that defense a non-factor is run small ball. It's that simple.
It's like, but it's like Dana West. It's like what contenders about to run
the
small
only
ball
thing,
when all
the
their good
only,
players is
Okay,
the
dead.
see, can
only thing
definitely.
that scares me, the only thing that scares me with the Suns team is teams going into a shootout with them, like not shootout as far as actually shooting the ball, but like going back and forth with scoring. Like if it ever gets to a point where both teams can't get stops, like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna come out and win that game just by the firepower that they got.
I
And
don't.
it also
That's
depends
not
on
even
matchup.
true.
Huh?
It's like you talking about the Suns,
Yeah.
but that's not even true. We were just saying that they're one of the worst performing fourth quarter
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah, and then
It's like
it's like
we talk about regular season though. Like we seen what Devin Booker was doing last year in the playoff. Like when we talk about playoffs, we gotta talk about past playoff performance. Like
okay, but we also got to talk about their defensive capability. If they're not stopping nobody from scoring, they damn sure not going to do it in the fourth quarter. I
Who's
don't
I don't
getting
think.
know. I don't.
stops
Yeah,
when
like
the
I don't know.
rotation
I think
shortens
they're
and
my
they
like
beating down? Who's getting stops for the Phoenix Suns, bro? It's not Kevin Durant. He 35 years old.
and it's not Booker.
Eric Gordon.
Grayson
It's
Allen.
surely not Yusuf Nurkic. Don't get me started on Yusuf Nurkic.
Grayson Allen. They don't. And what I haven't seen Josh Okogie recently. Like he's been
Because he
injured.
been out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
But
like
it would be him.
it would be him, but he's been out.
But it's like it can't fall on
And
one role
that's the
player
thing.
wing to
Yeah,
be.
I feel like for them to be good, yeah, they would have to just be a good like team.
they got to make some moves. Trade
They'd
deadline.
have to have a top
They
offense in the league to just survive any type of storm.
they have to be a good defensive team collectively because like all together, like individually, they aren't that good. So I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't say they're pretenders, but I wouldn't say they're contenders either. I don't like.
They
I
the
would have
definition
those.
of pretenders. Like on paper, that's supposed to
I don't
be a
know.
team that goes
I
to the
just,
finals.
Right.
I gotta see. I gotta see how they play in the playoffs. That's just my standpoint on that team specifically. Just by the two players, their top two gunners.
I just
So
think you get say they get to the playoffs in that first round, they get a team that is a great defensive team, they're out the playoffs. Stamp. First round exits.
Oh my God, they just don't want to see a team like the Thunder or even bro. I'm gonna be honest, and this segues into my other one. It's not even disrespectful to them. I just want to give them a shout out because they've been performing at a high level. The New Orleans Pelicans, bro. Like it's not time. It's and they need some more. I feel like the group that they have right now, it was good to get them to where they are now, but
hmm
something else is gonna have to happen. But their defense has been great.
Zion around
They
too.
had it right now. They had the 10th best defense in the league. They had a 13th best offense in the league right now. So that's a very high in terms of like where they stand in the league. They've just been performing. They got a couple big wins. They're in the mix, but I just don't think like they have any serious playoff contention in them. But I feel like at that same time, they are a team that aren't they are one of those teams that aren't contenders, but they're gonna be there and they can mess up somebody bracket. They can mess up somebody parlay. I like they could go out and upset a team that some people might have had too many high hopes for, like the Suns.
I don't even think everybody has high hopes for the Suns. I think everybody see what's going to happen with them.
Bro, it's like a lot of people they follow the league for
but
the
nah,
big names. So it's
yeah,
like
it's a
we
lot of people
got
that
Booker,
think
we
the
got
Suns.
Bell, we got KD, we about to win the championship, feel me?
Yeah.
And then they lose to CJ McCollum, and then it's like,
Nah,
so
I can
I
see that.
mean, who else? I mean, the Kings is like,
I'm in the in between with them.
nah, they regressing a little bit.
I don't think they're
It's just
pretending.
too early. Like they just started winning. It's like they need time to like kind of just
Nah,
not
Uh,
settle in, but it's
Kings
just
are
like
definitely contenders.
I don't
I'm gonna
think
say
they're pretending.
contenders.
I don't think they're.
But I'm gonna
they
tell you,
output just not good enough to contend.
nah.
Yeah,
uh,
that's what I'm saying.
Their defense is not great. Their
Defense isn't
defense is not
great.
great, bro. And
The
their offense is way worse than it was last year. Last
I'm
year they
not
had
gonna
an
say,
almost historic offense. Now their offense is mid.
yeah, but you gotta think about it. They haven't been 100% healthy either. Like health has had a role in the reason why they haven't been as great. So it's like I don't know. I'm not gonna say pretenders though, but I get why I say contenders.
I
I get why I don't say contenders.
I think they need to make a move.
They should have been buyers, bro. That was one of the teams I thought they was going to buy at the.
Who y'all think they should have won and
Bro,
got?
they should have that's a team that should have went out and get a Pascal Siakam, but they wasn't but we was asking for too much. And so it's like you gotta respect that. But it's still but it's like now it's like you stuck with Harrison Barnes. And it's like that's a player who
Now, where if
y'all
you
when
relying on
y'all
Harrison Barnes to go get you 40 in a dub, like that's a problem.
it's like once
Basically,
they got to that point
actually
where it's
done.
like we could get in the playoffs now, y'all should have been looking to go out and get some people for Harrison Barnes. Like
Yeah,
respectfully.
I say Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter because he hasn't been what the Kings thought he was going to be. So Kevin Huerter
I,
and Harrison Barnes could go in my eyes.
mm,
I'm not
who's
For the
going to
next, Harold?
Mavericks.
Keegan.
The
Keegan's
Mavericks.
still young. It's only his second season, so I'm not going to get too much on
I'm
Keegan.
be real for the Mavericks.
It's just the
I'm gonna say
roster. Like we thought the roster
I'm
was
gonna say
going to be good,
pretenders.
but it's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pretenders
It
for
don't.
sure.
It don't. It's like it don't pertain to Kyrie and Luca's needs
Yeah,
in my eyes.
I had a lot of faith. I felt like they did the best they could, but
Outside
it's
that,
not it. It's not
outside
it.
of Josh Green, Luca, Kyrie, and Derek Lively, I don't see anybody else on that roster worth.
You don't see Batman now? You want to switched up on your phone?
he hasn't been playing well, bro. Like, that's my guy, but like, he hasn't been playing well, and it's evident. Even though he just dropped 27 the other night, but like, I don't know when he's going to do that again. He's probably never going to do that again.
It's
So
like it kind of go back to those Harden conversations that people was having. That same conversations they used to have about Tracy McGrady way back when. It's like once you control the game at a certain like usage rate, once you become like so heliocentric where it's just like you can't really build rosters around these players because it's just like how they play. It's so extremely difficult to do it. It's like he's gonna start getting that stamp where it's like, the way you play, you just can't win. Like
yeah,
how Harden had that stamp on him
I'm gonna be
almost his whole
real.
career.
Nah,
I
that Harden stamp, he almost beat it. Like
He almost beat it, but
he
at
was
the end
so
of the
close,
day,
guys.
most of them was mad close.
yeah.
Nah, word.
My thing is like with Luca is like I feel like it's obviously true. Like I literally the first game Luca comes back after Kyrie just goes on an amazing 2 week or a week stretch of averaging like 35 and like winning games and stuff. With Tim Hardaway dropping like 30 and 40 and stuff. Literally the next game, the first game Luca is back, Kyrie goes for 12 points. And and in my eyes, it's just like I feel like that's not a coincidence. Like I feel like
Luka's just he's so ball dominant.
he messes up a player's rhythm. Like you can't do that to you. One thing about people think that Luca is a playmaker because he gets assists. That's not what a playmaker is in my
A
eyes.
playmaker is someone who creates for others. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to just be assist.
and he
He's
and
not
he
selfish though.
he's
That's
not
a
he's
Nah,
that's
not
that's
definitely
two
not.
different
not
things.
nah, yeah, he's not selfish. He's not selfish, but he waits too long to give the ball up in instances. Like we saw that clip where uh Kyrie gives him the ball and then Kyrie clears out. They're playing the Jazz. Chris Dunn is on Kyrie, and then Luka has the ball at the top of the key. Kyrie goes to the wing. Chris Dunn is not even worried about Kyrie. He's so focused on Luka and what Luka's about to do that he's not even paying attention to Kyrie. Kyrie's ready, waiting for the ball in his hands. And like Luka decides to take a step back three at the top of the key. It's like stuff like that. Like one, morale wise as a team, like that's deflating. And two, um, it's just gonna have people thinking like, can Luka make that shot 100%? I'm not taking it from him, but it's like that
That's
early in
not a
the
winning
shot,
play.
it's not a win to play, and also that early in the shot clock, you didn't even take a dribble or even like be nowhere type of aggressive going to the basket to like even see if there's a weakness in the defense or if you could create one. You just that like that's your first result, a step back three at the top of the key. Like that's just not smart. And like sometimes I question Luka's IQ based on his shot taking. Like, and that's not even a diss because like his shot selection isn't that great. It's gotten better since he's been in the league, 100%. Like, don't get me wrong, but like there's also a lot of the time where I'm just like,
Why that shot?
yeah, like why? Luca likes to take a lot of early shots, a lot of early bad shots in the shot clock.
Hmm.
I don't understand it. It's confusing to me. It's kind of like Drew Holiday on the Celtics. Like he does that too, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
Nah, I get it with Drew Holiday. You pass it up, he not getting it back. Like he sometimes when Drew probably like he'll probably come down, pass the ball up a couple times, realize he hasn't had a shot in a couple possessions. He like, I gotta get something up. Like
He you
that's the
probably
only
you probably right.
because
But like he get the ball though. He bring up the
now I'm saying though like those certain instances where you like why that shot in that situation. It's probably you gotta probably put like think in his head. He probably just came down, passed the ball up a couple times, hasn't gotten the ball back. Like Luka has the ball in his hands 99% of the time. Like those is just 100% bad shot.
yeah.
We got any more pretenders that we want to touch on?
Uh
Um,
in the
I don't
West?
I don't have any more pretenders because it's
I'm
like
not talking. It's a certain team I'm not even going to talk about. It's like,
What team?
what team?
it's two teams. As a matter of fact,
You think
I,
about the
the Warriors is not contenders and the Lakers is not contenders. They're not even pretenders.
I didn't
Nah,
They just
I
bad.
didn't yeah, I didn't
nah.
think
I'm not doing that with the Lakers. They caught me last year. They're not catching me again.
Nah, we're I ain't gonna lie. We know what stage they're in right now. We know what stage they're in right now.
No,
Stage
Come
we're
4.
no. This is not no. With the Warriors, you can say that. With the Lakers, it's just like when LeBron turns it on, bro. It's like it's what was he making that
LeBron,
face
my
for?
glorious king.
I'm not even talking about when LeBron turns it on. I'm talking
But
about
like,
their
let's really
roster
talk.
changes. It's time. It's that time of the year for roster changes.
I'm not
Somebody
yet.
gonna lose their
We
job for the
we gonna
Lakers.
we
Nah,
gonna when we
nah.
come back. When we come back, there's some
Deadline.
random players a Laker.
That's what I'm
Nah,
saying, bro.
deadline. D'Lo, the best player of all time. I'm sorry.
Nah, where D'Lo been hooping. I gotta give it to
And
him.
he said, "I don't want to go." Please.
Yeah, but
He said, "Hey
Nah,
GM,
wait. Did y'all see
please,
that?
not
Did y'all see
me."
that Warriors game? Nah,
That was
D'Lo,
game of the year.
one thing you could say about D'Lo though, like his confidence, like I was watching. I don't know if it's the fourth quarter or overtime, but it was three straight possessions where he turned the ball over.
And
Then he came
he did
down
a
in transition
transition
and pulled
3.
that three. Like that's like I don't know. I don't know what
That's
to
just
call that.
confidence. That's
yeah,
confidence.
Super confident,
he had like 26 that game, right?
Yeah.
something
It's
like
just
that.
highlighted because it's hard to have that confidence when you play in games like that, even in the regular season.
Right.
It's like you
Yeah.
with LeBron, you on national TV. It's probably like one of the most watched games that people pay attention to. It's like to do that, they're still gonna trade him though.
Yeah, they still gonna
That
trade.
word.
Gabe Vincent about to be gone. Like,
I don't
like
even think
they probably can't
like
even
he
trade.
injured. Like
I don't know. I don't know. He probably not injured for real. They probably,
they're gonna trade D'Lo and Rui
and
for
I don't,
DeJounte.
and I 100% don't agree. If they actually trade Rui, I 100% don't agree with that at all.
I'm gonna be real. I kind of do. Like,
It's like they don't get the service that they thought they wanted out of him. They got Torian
Won
Prince
yeah, not
starting.
he won series for them. He won a series for them last year.
This playing with
yeah,
LeBron, you gotta keep up. It ain't know what you did for me last season.
not word. The
I'm
only like,
I'm
I only
sorry.
worked for Anthony Davis.
nah, Austin Reeves not going nowhere either.
I mean, we know that though.
LeBron just love him too much.
Yeah, yeah,
LeBron,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
LeBron love
that's
him
his
that's
too
son.
much.
LeBron. Yeah, LeBron. That's LeBron guy. That's
So,
LeBron guy.
but everybody else up for grabs. So
I don't like if they get rid of Rui. I don't like that. I
they
don't.
better be getting some crazy. They better be getting something good back for like if they trade him now.
Hey,
Like they can't.
I'll take Rui off your hands. We do a little 3-team trade. What you want? You want
Nah,
Bruce Brown? I know
I
you
like
want Bruce
Dejounte.
Brown. Come
I
on,
like
LeBron. Come
Dejounte
in
on
my
the
office.
Lakers. I like Dejounte on the Lakers a lot.
I feel like that's what he's secretly trying to get going.
I'm not gonna lie.
And that's his little bro too.
Like
I
this is
just feel
little
LeBron,
like
bro.
I just feel like he go to the Dejounte go to the Lakers. It's not gonna be the production that we think he's gonna get.
nah, you
Bro, but
tripping. You tripping. You tripping. You
It has
tripping.
we
nothing to
seen
do
them
with
come.
Dejounte and everything to do with like
I know what you about to say.
yeah.
Don't say that. Don't put that on Dejounte, bro. Don't put that on Dejounte.
I feel
What?
like I feel like a player like him, if his numbers go down, it's still the impact
Now, because defensively he's gonna do
Defensively,
something.
he's gonna be a menace.
Yeah,
exactly.
defensively he's gonna do something. I agree.
Either
You
way, like defensively and then transition, he's gonna get like 8 to 10 points alone. I feel like so or 7 to 8 points. So it's like
I thought Dejounte was gonna be what Shea is.
no,
I'm kind of disappointed in myself.
no, nowhere near what 38 game Dejounte.
He was on the Spurs. I watched the defense, I watched the offense, and I was like, he's a bucket. And then yeah.
DeJounte at his best could be like Westbrook with some more defense who listen to NBA YoungBoy on YouTube. Like that's probably like
Nah,
what LeBron looking for, like because they wanted a guy who kind of could impact like all across the floor.
He said
But
NBA boy on
he
YouTube.
it's like DeJounte do need the ball in his hands, but we've seen him play without the ball in his hands. and it just hasn't worked out because a player like Trey Young is like they can't coexist on the floor together. He
Bro,
can
I'm gonna be
he can
real,
figure out how to coexist playing with LeBron James for sure.
bro.
Like
Dejounte at his best is a downgrade. I don't want to say Anthony Edwards, but like without athletic, like if you watch Dejounte, bro, like he gets to his spots, he plays
I would say
defense.
more John Wall.
mm,
I would say more John Wall without
I
athleticism.
feel that. I feel that. A less athletic John
Yeah,
Wall,
More shooting,
more
more
cause
shooting.
he
Yeah.
he got a burner.
not from three. Not from three.
From deep too.
Who don't who don't have a who don't
He's
have a
gonna work
three?
from deep too.
Who,
DeJounte.
bro? He's been you tripping.
I'm not saying he can't knock threes down. Of course he can. But like I'm saying like is he just like a good 3-point shooter? Nah. He's a good deep two shooter. He take a lot of deep twos, like a lot of deep twos.
Nah, he definitely do
Probably
take a
could
lot.
be a great. He probably could be a good 3-point shooter with the amount of deep twos he take. The analytics coach probably telling him like, bro, see, if you take that three, you average 25 a game.
Not word.
They probably in his ear all the time.
How you feeling about the East? You think we could tackle the East?
Uh, I only got like I feel like I got like 3 contenders for the East, and then
I do.
pretenders.
I do too.
I got
I
like
do too.
I got like four pretenders.
Yeah,
Three pretenders. I got three
I want to go
pretenders.
through him.
Yeah, we can go through them.
Yeah, we
I
can.
start with my dark horse. I start with my dark horse.
All right, for contenders, go ahead.
Yeah. I got the Knicks, bro. I
That's
got the
easy.
Knicks.
I don't
I'm
even think
sorry.
that. Yeah, I don't even think that's a dark horse to be honest. And this is a
I feel like people not really paying attention. They still think
Nah,
it's like the top of the
I'm gonna be
top of
real.
the
I'm gonna be real. Like I feel like OG is exactly what they needed as
like
far as
post trade. This team has been fantastic, and I feel like
suit like
it's like
subpar
they didn't give the Knicks that disability exception because there's still a chance for Mitchell Robinson to come back at
comeback.
the end of
Yeah,
this season. And if he come back at the end of this season and like if he don't jack up what they got going on, because it's always a potential of that when you bring in players back in. But
I think
if he could plug in and he could be 100%, like, bro,
the
and
team might be
and
like
and it's like I know Julius Randle is like the biggest playoff dropper in the last 10 years, but like the rosters around them is so good, and Jalen Brunson is so good. It's like they at I can see him going to the conference finals. I could just see it.
nah.
I can see it
I can see it going wrong for one of the other two teams
I
that
can
I
see them.
have
I
here,
can see
bro.
them going to like losing Game 7 right before the conference finals. Like
on some
I don't.
Patrick Ewing
I
type. You
I think
Some on
I
some
start
got
Marcus Smart
the
block
two
Norman
teams.
Powell type stuff.
I think the two teams that's gonna be in the conference finals is you feel me. What the fans been wanting to see since the season started.
It's not. It's not, bro.
I feel okay.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna see.
uh
I
my,
think it is.
to me, my dark horse is Philly, and that's a lot coming from me.
They're
Uh
not even my dark horse. I just respect them. I just gotta respect them.
I just think the roster is good. I think the roster is good enough to sustain Joel Embiid's terrible playoff play. I'm already predicting he's going to be bad in the playoffs. So I just think this roster is good enough. First off, Nick Nurse has been great. Um, and the addition of Kelly Oubre has been great. Tyrese Maxey's been playing great. He's a type of player who's going to play better than he plays in the regular season in the playoffs. He always rises to the occasion. So I'm expecting that. Um and yeah, like I said, like I feel like this roster is just in a better position to sustain bad play from Joel Embiid. So that's why
That's
I feel like this is why they're my dark horse.
that's exactly how I feel about them. I feel
I
like
don't.
the bar that Nick Nurse has set for them has has raised them just above water, where we've seen it get very scary with how Joel Embiid goes in the playoffs, and I promise you, Joel Embiid's going to be in the same exact state that he's always been when it's postseason time. But Daryl Morey, even though he's a liar, he's good at his job. I have to give him credit for how he's adjusted the roster after James Harden's departure. Kelly Oubre, he was impressive. We were talking about how impressive he was out the gate. That was already a great addition. I have to give credit to Tobias Harris still being good at his job.
Yeah,
I still have to give credit to DeAnthony Melton being one of the most underrated starters. Retaining guys like that is important. But even the Harden trade, like it was a lot of questions about the moves that they made. But getting back Marcus Morris, getting back Nick Batum has been actually very great for their depth.
mm-hmm.
They're very inconsistent players in general at this point in their careers, but like contribution wise for what that team has needed throughout their rotations, it's been really good. And at the end of the day, like Nick Nurse could coach better than Popovich and Phil Jackson combined. At the end of the day, it's going to go down to Embiid. But this is just probably the best version of Embiid Sixers that we've seen, other than 2019. So they have to be feared as so, and they've gone out and won big games respectively.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I won't say it's now or never, because honestly I genuinely think it could be never for Joel Embiid if he don't just lock in. But I that it's just like they here, I feel like
Yeah,
they here.
you can't ignore them. It's
Yeah.
just that's
It's
it.
like other years you could just be like, they good, they the third seed, fourth seed, but like Embiid sucks. Like, but now it's
Exactly.
like, I still hate Embiid, but damn, they good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I think we all
what you
know.
got home? Oh, I
I
mean,
don't have a
odds.
I don't have a dark horse.
Yeah, I think we all know. Celtics are a contender this year.
Celtics, that's that
Yeah,
favorite.
sure.
That's that favorite out the East. It's not much more you
But
can
I'm
say
not gonna
about
lie,
them.
bro. Like they're like I'm not even gonna put that out. I'm gonna
Don't
let them.
don't put it out there. Don't put it out there because we be the first one. Like Mike, it's time. Y'all overdue. Y'all overdue.
Chill, bro.
Yeah,
Chill, bro. Don't say it, bro. Don't say it, bro. Just chill.
My biggest pretender is the
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yes.
That defense sucks. Doc Rivers sucks.
nah.
You bring in Doc Rivers, he gonna make the defense better, but
Oh
it's like
nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm sorry. I can't see him as pretenders. Like
I can't do it.
I'm trying to think in the like worst possible way. Like off the rip,
Their
how much
defense is
Giannis,
genuinely
how
not
much
good enough to compete.
And that's what I'm saying. Yo, in the playoffs, defense is played. You
Bro, the
can't.
la-
okay.
the last 10 teams that won the finals, they all had top 10 defenses except for the Nuggets, bro. And that's because the Nuggets had a cakewalk to the finals. They got lucky.
Facts.
The
Yeah,
Nuggets
but
run a gauntlet like they gonna have this year. They're not winning the championship. That's why I don't have them coming out the West, bro.
nah.
Your defense
I,
has to be good. Like
Yeah.
like the teams that contend, they
I
gotta
don't
have
think I
top
don't think
10,
that
top 12.
okay.
Doc is not getting them the top 10 defense.
Doc, not Jesus.
Doc not even Chris Moves, bro. I let Stephen A coach a team before Doc Rivers in 2024, bro.
Bro said Chris
Like,
Smooth.
You said Chris Move, cuz shout out to Chris Move. You a
Shout
legend.
out Smooth, man.
We love Chris Move, man. Nah, facts. Like I think
I
it's not a slight. It's
nah.
not a slight to the roster, because
yeah,
mind you, the roster also got decimated when they made their trades.
yeah, yeah.
But it's just like,
They lost key role players. They lost their defensive backbone.
I'm gonna be. I would get. I think it's time for Chris Middleton to go.
I don't think they can do
And
that, bro. I
They're
don't think
not
they can do
they
that.
can't. They can't. But like for depth wise, I feel
They
like
could
they can
they
get
could
some.
they could get a X factor player without having to give up Chris Middleton, bro. Like
Yeah,
they could
I
find a
think
way. to
I
get an
say
Alex
just let.
Caruso or
I,
something
I
by the
say get
deadline.
Bobby Portis. I say let Bobby Portis go before Chris.
You
Nah,
crazy?
they can't
No,
let Bobby
no.
Portis do because that's
I'm
they
letting
bench. That's they bench
I'm letting
agent.
Chris I'm
What
letting
else they
Chris
gonna have?
Middleton. I'm
Or
letting Chris Middleton
Marjon
go before.
boot camp.
Nah,
And
that's what I'm saying. Like when you look up and down the roster, nah.
It's like they can't when it's the playoffs. They gonna need Chris Middleton, bro.
Why?
Like, bro, because he's a shot. He's a shock. Like they have. I get they have Damian Lillard now, but it's like they
you still
roster.
need,
They depth not that deep.
you still
To
need a.
Bro,
They still need another guy that can go
you
get
still need a
a
wing that can like handle some business. It's like
yeah.
he been mid this year because he spent 70% of the season on a minutes restriction, still kind of
not
injured.
true. That's true. I don't
Like
know. I feel like
by the time it's
I
the
don't
postseason
think they're
time, I'm gonna
pretenders.
respect him.
I don't think they're pretenders at all. I think that's disrespectful to say pretenders. Like I nah, they're not pretenders because
Bro, they could be even if they was contenders. Now they got to catch the Doc Rivers tax. They just not winning.
it's like what are they in the East right now? They're
They
second.
like yeah
What team is beating them? What team under them is beating them?
bro under them.
Yeah.
Philly could beat them.
I'm like the Knicks could beat that team in the
Yeah, or the
playoffs.
Knicks could beat them too.
Knicks not beating them.
Coach
The
like
only reason
Doc
why
Rivers going fold to Jared Allen and
nah,
Evan Mobley.
the only reason why I say the Knicks not beating
Yeah,
them is
respect
because what
Jared Allen. Respect Jared
anytime
Allen.
He's the best role player in the NBA.
anytime the Knicks beat we're not starting this again. Anytime the Knicks anytime the Knicks beat the Bucks, Dame had a bad game. It's no way you think Dame is having a bad game in the playoffs.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I think Dame might fold in the playoffs, bro.
That's a bad take. 100% bad take. I'm
I think
sorry.
they might fold in the playoffs, bro. I think
Nah.
it could go. I think
Bro,
like it
it's
could get
like
bad for
you
him.
gotta all right, let's look at
I
it
don't
like
think
this.
Dame is. I don't think Dame is going to
Wait,
fold. I don't think
let's look
Dame's
at it
going to.
like this. Let's look at it like this. Anytime they needed him this season, he stepped up. So when it comes to play,
8 times out of 10, that's not fail proof.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, it's
bro,
not. It hasn't been as
if
much
you
as
look
we
at
think.
the thing that's been keeping him alive as far as his numbers and his percentages is his second halves and fourth quarters. Like he'll have a bad game. I don't know what turns like what clicks, but when it's a close game or a fourth quarter, that man turns into something else. So it's like,
I don't know. He need to do more so Giannis don't win Clutch Player of the Year. I can't have that on my conscience. I can't have that on my conscience. Giannis winning Clutch Player of the Year does this? That's like Brock Purdy going to the Super Bowl.
You got to leave Brock Purdy alone, bro.
no,
Oh
where, bro,
no,
Brock Purdy, he's like a, I
Tom
don't know.
Brady.
No,
I
I'm
Yeah,
talking
also
how
walks into a great situation.
Tom Brady didn't walk into a great situation.
We're not gonna do. All
oh
right, we're not gonna do this right now. We're getting off topic. We're getting off
Bro
topic.
got a ring his second year in the league with a mediocre Patriots team. But go ahead, Harold.
my other pretender is the Cavs.
Yeah,
Um,
they always
Yeah,
a.
super pretenders.
They always a.
they defenses has been phenomenal. Even with the absence of Evan Mobley,
I
they
feel like
upheld
he's
a
gonna make
good
their
portion of
defense
their
bad.
defense. But you already know how I feel about Donovan Mitchell in the postseason. He's probably like the most unsustainable postseason player. He'll just burn himself out. And then like even with everybody healthy, like their offense just isn't strong enough to like really punch teams. Like they fall back on their defense a lot. And when it's the postseason, like yes, like you gotta really like get on all fours and really like grind out defensively. But unless you got like some freaky weirdo like Jimmy Butler who just go crazy in the postseason, like that's not gonna get you far and you're not gonna get lucky. And like that's just how I always felt about like the Cavs, even like last year. And that's why they lost to the Knicks when they were supposed to win. So Yeah, that's my second of my three pretenders.
Yeah, that was my second too for the same exact reason. Like, and I feel like Evan Mobley's gonna come in and make their defense like mid. Like he's supposed to be their best defender, but like since he's been in the league, his defense hasn't been great to me. I don't see where he's a good defender in my eyes. Well, let
Wait,
me
who?
not Evan Mobley. Let me not say he's not a good defender because
Like team like his impact on the team's
yeah,
defense is
yeah,
is not one and the same.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it doesn't. It's not a huge. It's not like he's an anchor for that team in terms of his defense.
If anyone's an anchor, it's really Jared Allen.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Uh, my next pretender.
It's the Heat, bro. It's the Heat.
Oh, they're not even contender or pretender. They're just trash.
Yeah,
They're just mid. Like that. That's my
yeah.
thing. I was
You
gonna say.
can't do that. You can't
I'm not
track
doing that no
record.
more.
Track
I,
I'm
record
not doing
says you
that no
can't do
more.
that, bro.
I'm
I
gonna
was
just,
gonna
I'm gonna
say
just,
Pacers,
I'm
but
leaving them out. I'm not, I'm gonna just leave them out completely. Like, I'm not gonna call them pretenders or contenders. I'm not gonna lie.
They in their own section called the Miami
Yeah,
Heat.
they in the yellow section.
They could lose
I
in
was
the
gonna.
play-in or they could lose in the finals.
I was saying Pacers.
Not fact.
Damn, I ain't.
Pac-
I left out the Pacers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
Nah,
was.
Pacers. You think they made that list?
They make a fun
It's like if you
series.
talk about defense, like
Yeah, nah, 100. That's exactly why
not
they're
only,
contenders.
not only they're bad, but they don't have that like if you made that argument that you make against the Bucks on the Pacers, okay, cool, but I don't see that same
But that's
argument going.
but that's it. But that's exactly why they're pretenders. But they have a historic offense. But they're
Historic
pretenders.
They
offense
do have
going
it.
not can only get you so far if your defense
That's
trash.
what I'm saying. They're like they have that offense, but like they're going to get fried. Somebody's going to drop.
They're gonna give us a fun first round series that Pacers fans can take and have some joy about. And that's all it is going to be for
Yeah,
the Pacers. Respectfully. They have a lot to look forward to.
in the
But
coming
like
years.
yeah, I've been said like I want them to match up first round with the Knicks. That'll be a fantastic series. They're gonna lose in like 5, but it's gonna be a fantastic series. It's gonna be one of them series where it's like they get gentlemen swept, but like each game was like by like 2 points. Like
Yeah,
that's how I want that to go.
yeah.
Anybody else in the East worth mentioning?
The Washington Wizards segment.
I had
And
enough
that
of you.
wraps it up.
I had enough of you voting Kyle Kuzma for All Star. I had just stop. Leave them in the gulag where they belong.
All right, what if I say the Pistons?
No.
They beat the Thunder without Kate. It's like no.
Jalen
And
Duran.
with that, man. Thank y'all for watching another episode of the Triangle Offense Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. And of course, follow us on the socials. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Always show love. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And as always, we're gonna see y'all next time around. By next time we see you, somebody probably gonna have like 80 points. So we're gonna talk about it. Jordan Poole. It's gonna be Jordan
Hey,
Poole.
Murray, you still
This is redemption. This
you
is
still
redemption. He give me
he
an
still
80-point game. That's worth multiple 60-point games.
You crazy.